Emily Campbell is here. Congratulations, 5 consecutive European titles. How do you feel?
Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely. And I don't think it hit me until I put all 5 of them out in front of me, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I've managed to, do some cool history again.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the medals in just a moment. I mean, how hard is it to stay at the top? It must, you know, we see you do it, you make it look easy, like everyone who's good at something, but that must put an enormous strain on your body, all the training to get to that level. Yeah,
absolutely. I think, you know, I've got an incredible team around me, and, you know, we do have to manage things, and it doesn't always go smoothly, and it's not always a bed of roses, and training's hard, but, yeah, we have to train smart, and we have to think about what we've got coming up and manage our time correctly, and, yeah, just try and enjoy it as much as possible.
One of the things that I love when I watch you is that I actually feel like we're all suffering with you a little bit. You don't hide the emotions, do you? We see how tough that is. What's going through your head in those moments?
Yeah, absolutely. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I entered this cycle, you know, with a little bit of optimistic, and obviously to do that performance has only really gave me more confidence, obviously, going forward. But yeah, just want to kind of keep performing on the platform, but then also keep, you know, taking opportunities outside of the platform as well. You know, I wanted to be just more than an athlete when I started this sport, and I wanted to try and have an effect outside of the platform. And so yeah, it's going to be a nice, interesting 4 years of trying to balance the two, I think.
Go on. What do you mean by that, to have an influence outside of the platform?
I just realised how much of a benefit strength training has to everybody in the world, and I want to try to be the forefront of that. So I launched a campaign called Make Britain Stronger. So it's encouraging everybody to... There's actually guidelines that you should do 2 lots of 20 minutes of strength training a week. Not many people know about that.
2 lots of 20 minutes every week, as a minimum?
As a minimum, yeah. And obviously we definitely encourage more. And, you know, it's just about getting that awareness that, you know, sport is... strength training is not just, you know, lifting heavy weights above your head.
It
doesn't have to be as hard as that. Yeah, there's lots of other different ways that you can do it. Resistance training, Pilates, body weight. Even starting in the house, people don't realise, you know, picking up heavy washing, taking shopping out, that's all strength training. It requires strength to be able to do it. So, yeah, I just want to be the advocate for that. And eventually I will be opening my own gym in Nottingham, which is going to be a youth and development-based gym, so for the young people to come and have that safe space, but also a community-based gym that everybody can enjoy strength in their own little way. And, yeah, just have a bit of a party and a vibe while we're doing it.
That thing about being a role model is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think you can ever call yourself a role model, right?
We can call you a role model.
Yeah, if you would like to, that'd obviously be great, and it'd mean the world. But yeah, I just think that, you know, I got into a position where, you know, our sport is now being seen on the biggest screen.
You noticed in your career?
Yeah, most absolutely. I mean, obviously, I go to weightlifting gyms quite a lot, but then sometimes when I'm in different areas and cities doing different things, I go into commercial gyms, and there's queues for squat racks now, and it's mostly females that are queuing for them.
Oh,
and
that's good.
You know, they really enjoy the strength training, and I think they're realising not just how many physical benefits it has, how many mental benefits it can have, and how empowering it can feel to be able to lift heavy weights and to enjoy it. So I think there's definitely a shift. I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. And, you know, all the myths about, you know, being absolutely massive from lifting is, yeah, you have to work. I had to work really hard for that upper body. Like, it took a lot of years. So there's no way that you're going to just touch a weight and absolutely blow up. So, yeah, I think there's lots of benefits, and I think we need to keep working together to, you know, bust those myths.
And also that whole thing about if you go to a gym, maybe the men are all down in the weightlifting area, and it can be a bit intimidating, I imagine, for a woman to go to gravitate to that end of a gym.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you'll go into some gyms and it's really welcoming, and, you know, there'll be men in there that are allies and really encourage women to lift them, you know. And if there's obviously a space where you don't feel comfortable, there's lots of women's only gyms now. There's lots of spaces dedicated to women to do strength training, and they're starting to see the demand now. They're starting to take the cardio machines out, and they're starting to put more squat racks in and more dumbbells in now, and heavier ones as well, you know, not just leaving us with the little 2-kilo ones, realising that women are capable of lifting heavier weights.
And they don't have to be pink.
Absolutely not.
Another thing I know that you've been very vocal about is not working with brands that don't do a range of sizes. But people who do restricted sizes, that just doesn't work for you, does it? Yeah,
no, not at all. You know, obviously, I'm very proud of the body that I've created. It's, you know, literally created history. And, yeah, no, obviously, we're very thankful for, you know, brands like that sponsor Team GB as well, you know, for giving us the kit that fits us properly and allows us to do our job. But, yeah, there is brands out there that still are a little bit resistant to that. And I think it's important for me to represent things that I actually believe in. You know, I have a lot of women that will message me and ask me what kit I'm wearing and where where they can buy that from. So if I'm wearing a brand that actually doesn't represent us, then I don't feel like I'm being authentic and true to myself. So, you know, I want to support the brands that are supporting people. And, you know, you have to have kit to start off with, right, to start a healthier lifestyle. So I think people need to do better in producing the kit for people to actually get there and start their fitness journey.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you, Emily Campbell.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.